Hello everyone, our corn continued to grow, the beans have sprouted, and the true leaves on our squashes have come in. So it's a good time to do an update on our corn growing. One of the challenges that we've run into this year is birds, or actually, birds. The California Towhee, lots of them. They're pretty abundant this year, and they're just going around and picking out our corn seeds or our corn sprouts. We tried different things to go around them. We tried night sowing, and that works to a certain extent. We sow at night since they're always out here during the day looking at what we're doing. They notice when we plant in a certain area, and they'll come digging in it right afterwards. So night sowing buys us a little bit of time, but once the corn sprouts, it just pokes out of the ground barely a little bit. They know that there's corn there. They start digging. So we tried putting straw over it, and that's worked to a certain extent. They've been really eager this year, and they just dig through the straw. One of the things I think is one of the catalysts for so much of the California Towhee being pesky is that we're missing the western scrub jay. And when we have a nice mix of different types of birds, what they end up doing is they chase each other away, and they give each of the birds very limited time to be in the garden. And when they have limited time, they're very beneficial. And that's probably a whole video altogether, and I'm not gonna digress today, but if you're interested, maybe we'll talk about the healthy balance of birds and how they are beneficial when there's that healthy balance. So today we'll look at how our corn are doing, and then we'll look at a new corn patch and talk a little bit about it. And one last thing, as I'm seeing the California Towhee in my peripheral vision, is that it's been fun having the conversation with you guys about different ways to handle the bird issue. And one of the things is that it's been fun putting these mylar ribbons up, but the California Towhee and many of the birds, they're very, very intelligent animals, and they know what is a threat to them and what is not. Even being out here, they're starting to get closer and closer to me when I walk around the garden, because they have perceived that I'm not a threat. So if I'm a moving object, and very dynamically moving object that's here and there, they're gonna see these things as just toys. So these are just good to put up for your own psyche, but they actually don't work very well. I think they'll work well against the lower intelligent bird like the finches. So if you have seeds to protect, then these ribbons may work. I guess without further ado, let's go and check on our corn plants. Let's start with our golden bantam corn, and they're doing really well compared to the other corn that we've sowed, the other Burpee triple crown corn. This is from really fresh corn seeds and from the best part of the corn. And they're growing really, really nicely. Since the bird came and picked out some of the corn spots, we did a transplant, and it looks like the corn is doing well and hasn't susceptible to shock, so it didn't experience too much shock, and it's doing well. So this is one that was transplanted, and we'll go and do the hard thing now, which is to thin out some of the corn here. So we'll just go and just pick out some of the corn. Since we don't want them too thick, there's not enough nutrients to support the density that's here. And this is hard because these are, two really nice corn plants. So we'll just pick out those. And let's see, are there two here? Yeah, there's 2 and 3. So we have some Lakota squash that are growing underneath here. We had a third plant, but it was attacked by both birds and pillbugs and such. So yeah, that California towhee likes to eat fresh leaves sometimes. And one of the things is that sometimes they're thirsty, so if you have a bird bath, that might be a way to quench their thirst. Okay, so that's how they're doing, and they're a good, I would say, 10 inches. And we'll go this way and look at our not our golden Bantam corn, our Burpee triple XP. This is basically our strongest plant, and I think what ended up happening was when we sowed our corn seeds, we just grabbed whatever seeds were there, and we had probably some that are really small and dinky, and those probably ended up not getting eaten by the birds, so it's kind of sparse here. I don't think we're going to get a good harvest. I mean, we're not going to get an abundant harvest. But down below, soybean, they've come up. So we got some really strong looking soybean plants here. And that's something that we're growing for the first time, and it's going to be fun watching it grow, and we'll see what kind of soybean we get back. In hindsight, we can probably plant some of the pole beans just to maximize this growing airspace here with the sun and everything. So we may do that. But yeah, it's kind of disheartening with the birds, but we still have lots of golden bantam corn. And I'll take you over to our newer patch, since we had so many leftover corn seeds over here. We went and sorted out the corn seeds and picked the bigger ones to plant, but unfortunately we thought that night sowing and some of the straw will help, but they're very eager this year. We have one that came up and survived. So this was sowed April 12th, and we still have some corn seeds left. Maybe we'll just go and sow them in here. There's some more beans, so they've popped out. And in this space, real quick, we have a giant pumpkin that we sowed on the 12th as well. So, and then over here we have our earth tones corn, ornamental corn, and these are really tall right now. They're about, the tallest is probably 14 inches. This is ornamental corn. So, and below we tried to do some sugar pie pumpkins. They sprouted, but then they got eaten. So we'll do that again. We'll probably put it in a pot, or we'll find some way to protect them. And our orange glow, our one and only orange glow watermelon that survived, so we'll resow those. The blossoms on the olive tree are dropping, and there are probably millions of them, if not a billion. It looks like it's snowing here in Southern California when we look at the ground. But down here are our japonica stripe maize corn. This is a variegated corn, and some of its colors are coming in. And they're growing out really nice here. Some of the squashes have come up. This is the red warty thing, and it's doing really well here. So out here it's oh look, I haven't been really admiring the corn. The variegated leaves, really cool. It's got these nice light highlights, and then there's some hints of red on them. And since we're out here, we can thin out some of our squashes. pinch that off. Let's see here. Here's a couple more. Pinch these off. And the Kentucky pole, I think they're Kentucky Wonder beans have popped out, and naturally something will come and eat it. Probably the pillbugs. And real quick, this is one of the giant pumpkins that we're growing. So we'll do a different video update on giant pumpkins. And they look like they can be thin, but I'm gonna let them grow some more before we thin them out in case something happens. So that's how our japonica striped maize are doing out here. And that's how our corn are doing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In yesterday's 90-degree weather, the Pakistan mulberry has really ripened quickly. Ripened in a day's time. I got another one to eat this morning. And we have some to share.